Buying property in the Philippines. You want to do it right, and got an interview coming up, and we'll talk about some of the pitfalls, some of the correct ways of doing it, and give you some resources to check out as well. Anyway, every time I see a video about buying property in foreign countries, there's always comments. Never buy. Your rates are different in foreign countries. Never buy a property in a foreign country. The fact of the matter is, thousands, if not tens of thousands, of people are going to buy property here in the Philippines. It might be condominium, might be with their wife or girlfriend, it might be land to build a house on. I am aware of many instances where the purchase has been a blessing, as it worked out well, and I'm aware of many instances where there's problems with the titles, with ownership, multiple owners, with the property itself, where it's located. You can't build there. Lots of different issues that come up and titling here in the Philippines. And today we're going to be interviewing JR with JRC Visa Consultancy and Immigration Services. For many, many years, he was a real estate broker, still is a real estate broker and an appraiser. And he's got a lot of insights and experience, and he'll talk a little bit about some of the issues that he comes across regularly. And he's got offices in Cebu City, across from Ayala Mall. He's got an office in Dumaguete, right next to the immigration office there. And he has office in metropolitan Manila area as well. So he can look at your situation, give you advice, whether it should be a go or whether you need additional documents. And anyway, let's get into the interview.
Yeah, for the other side, we have already also launched our relaunch our real estate consulting, basically focusing on the documentation side because it hurts me the most when you have a good intention to buy properties or land to your other half and you are stuck with the documentation. Like I heard and I have encountered during our consultation that people are actually buying lands already and they have not seen even the documents. Like when the particular registered person is had passed away, estate tax clearance is required and that should be settled prior to the transfer of the legal surviving heirs. Number two, if they're buying a portion of the bigger plot of land, make sure that they have the second is the if they're buying a portion of the plot of land, make sure that they have the approved subdivision plan, the updated one that actually um, plotted really the portion of the lot that you have bought. That's one thing. And uh, if it's not done yet, then it should be done properly before you actually pay or you put in your hard-earned money because that is very important to note. And if there would be um, delays along the way, try to figure it out and ask the processor that you have been dealing with because they can actually help you and guide you to that point. I mean, there's no such thing as perfect processing here in the Philippines. You just need to understand the procedure because things are done differently here. So if you don't know that, then try to ask them. Try to consult with them like, hey, what's going on? And if they cannot actually give you that information, then check it because you have all the resources right now. Like, for example, a normal title transfer here in the Philippines would take roughly between 6 to 8 months at least. If it goes beyond that, that's already something that you need to take a look at into and verify because there might be something that you need to comply. Like number one, also the if you buy a agricultural land, especially when you buy it in the provincial areas or rural areas here in the Philippines, make sure that you can actually you are capable of getting the dark clearance because that's another clearance that you need to complete or you need to comply before you go to the titles office. And just a rough overview, it would be like the the title transfer process would normally go also with three major offices: the tax office, which is the BIR, the titles office, and the assessor's office. So in between the BIR and the titles office, that is where the dark clearance if you purchase a agricultural land in the Philippines. And also for the condos, make sure that you have the management certificate if you buy a condominium unit, especially if it's pre-owned, because management certificate signifies that the 40% threshold for foreigner ownership is still within that threshold. Because what if you bought it from a Filipino and then it's already maxed out to 40% and you will be the 41st percent, 41. So that is something that needs to be done as well, because I have not heard that really with other real estate professionals for now, that they'll be discussing that or other bloggers, but that is a special thing that you need to note, and because it will affect you. You might have problems in transferring the ownership to your name. Also, another thing would be, what is that? TIN verification. So tax identification number verification should be done also prior to your engagements. Either you're buying a land or you're buying a condo pre-owned, because especially if you're buying it on pre-owned, you need to verify if the tax identification number of that seller is non-VAT or non-VAT, non-vatable or vatable. Because if it's vatable and you agreed to pay and you agreed that the buyer will actually pay the expenses, that would be additional 12% that you need to pay.
Is that still 3.2 million?
I think there's actually changes. I have not actually taken
They were talking about raising it, I think,
Yeah, I think so.
but I don't know if they did or not yet.
I think there's not much changes yet, but what I would just like to really talk about is this TIN verification. Because if you're non-VAT, then the capital gains, doc stamps, the regular rates will be based on that. But what if the seller is vatable? That's plus 12%. So your cost of transfer might be around, instead of 10 to 11%, plus 12%, that would be 22 to 23% cost.
Yeah.
So that is something that your viewers, especially, I have seen that you have been dealing with. We have been like doing some real estate already videos in which we would like to educate our clients as well, or your subscribers, to do it properly.
Yeah, and you were a real estate broker.
Yes.
Before many years back, when you added the immigration services to your portfolio.
Yeah.
So that's your background. Yeah.
That's the other hat.
Yeah.
Because if they do it properly, then that would be less hassle, everything is smooth, no problems, then that should be it. And if there will be problems, okay, let's recognize the problem and how to deal and solve it. And I think that would be one of the things that they need to really expound into and to really take a look at into.
Yeah, I've got a British friend lives in the same tower I do, and I put him in touch with somebody. He was gonna buy another condo for his carer to live in, and turned out, he was ready to sign the papers, but there's three owners, three relatives, and he can't get them all together. I don't know, two of them are out of the country or something. Sure. And so just the hassle trying to get everybody to agree on the price and get everything signed, so he backed out of that. And the next one he looked at, some other issue, didn't have a clean title or something.
Yeah.
And so I think he finally found one.
That's good.
But
And also in the Philippines before, now the profession have been regulated and been protected by a law. Anyone can be an agent. I'm really sorry about that. When I'm actually talking to people like foreigners, there are this is my plan and so on and so forth. And sad to say, there's still times that any family member of the Filipino side would like to be part of the sellers.
Right.
So I'm just I'm not spilling the beans, but I'm just being true to you guys, because you need to know that. And that's where we position ourselves to really like, okay, we will be with you. We will be standing on your side to really protect your interests.
Yeah.
And sometimes during my consultation, I normally say to them, okay, hey, I'm really sorry in advance. I'm gonna tell you if this is really not doing well. I'm gonna say and I'm gonna recommend that you don't buy this property because there are too much red flags.
Yeah.
And it will be for your protection. It's
Yeah, I noticed, I come across over the years a lot of real estate agents in the mall and even walking on the street. Somebody
Hands you a
grabs me and
brochure.
says, here, and a couple times, several times, come and see my condo, okay? Let's jump in a taxi, go look at your condo. And they aren't agents. They aren't brokers. They're quote unquote salespeople that, I don't know, they're a relative of an agent or whatever, and they really haven't had any training. They can't answer most of the questions you give them. They can't answer them. And so, I noticed that very, very early on that there wasn't proper training with a lot of these people.
like this is just one guy that you mentioned years back. I think that was during 2022, and he purchased a condominium unit in Mactan, and he was being told by the agent that there would be no problem. You can actually take a loan in a bank even on your tourist visa, and then he pays. I think that's 2 years on the equity. The equity here stands for the monthly payments from your down payment, which is broken down into 24 or stretch into 24, 12, or 36 months. So down payment, and you have if the down payment can be paid 20% on the spot, or if it's still pre-construction, you can actually stretch it to the construction period. Probably let's put it 3 years, 36 months. Your down payment of 20% can be divided into 36 months. That is what we call equity here. That's how we defined it. And then before the 36 months will be completed, then the other 80% will be due undemandable. So that is some terminologies that you guys from the Western world should actually understand.
A balloon payment in this,
yeah. Here it's not. It's actually like the full payment.
Yeah.
So in your country it might be different terminologies, but that's how it is termed here. So going back, when the equity has been almost up, and he was already told by the developer, okay, we need the full payment of this 80% because the 2 years equity period has already been done. So he goes there. Fortunately, the developer says, hi, no, you are on tourist visa, and if you wanted to have it on the financing side in the bank here in the Philippines, you need to have a permanent visa. So he was penalized for almost 800,000 pesos, and we negotiated, and we were able to lower it down to 200, and we helped him out to the SRV, and he was able to take up the loan from the bank, and the bank paid off the 80% to the developer. It's all done. Recently, a friend of mine called me, hey JR, I got this interesting stuff here. It's a pre-construction condo in Cebu, and I was being told that I'm only paying like 11,000 for the next 24 months. Okay, that's good. And you're gonna put up the reservation, and then 12,000 in the next 12 months, and then another payment for at least 100,000 on the 13th month. And I asked him, okay, hey, where is that? And then when I figure out, and okay, and how much is the condo? The condo is around 5 million. So see the difference? The difference for around 4.7, 4.8. You need to pay that upfront in the next 12 months. Are you capable of paying that?
Okay.
Oh shoot, I don't know that. So those are things that you need to know.
Yeah.
Basic, but it will have an impact to you, not just financially. Your stress, your inconvenience. That is where we're guiding you.
Yeah, I've seen the ads. They're on Facebook and other places. Yeah. Deep discounts, big discounts we're giving, and low payments. Yeah, but they don't tell you about
the total contract price.
Yeah.
Plus the transfer cost, and plus the one-time membership of the condo corporation. When you speak of condo.
Right.
So normally I go like from here, like only 10,000 monthly payments for the next 36 months. Okay, that's 360,000, I think. And if the contract price is 5.5, so you need to pay around 5.2 almost, or 5.140. So, are you ready with that?
All right. Yeah, and that's most banks aren't gonna. A lot depends on foreigners getting loans here. If I know one guy, an older guy, but he's got money. He's got money. He's got equity. He's got a house, or him and his wife have a house, and he was able to take a loan out, buy a car. You know, 2 million,
Mhm.
2 million car, something like that. Well, you can buy a condo for 2 million.
Mhm.
You know, a small condo. So yeah, some foreigners can get loans,
Yeah.
but by and large, depending upon your financial situation,
Exactly.
your age, your health, number of things, they're probably not going to want to give you a loan.
Especially the age
Yeah.
and your financial capacity. Normally, the
Yeah.
banks is taking a look at least the monthly amortization should be at least 30% of your gross pay.
Mhm.
So that's one of the parameters, and also your age. If you apply that to your 60, maximum 65, you just need to pay it in the next 5 years instead of paying it in the next 15 years.
Right.
And I'll be honest with you, I also advise that with other clients, it's very hard to get a loan in the Philippines. So if you can actually get a loan from your country, which is much more easier, then that would be best. Like, I have a client right now, he's in UK, and he told me, Jerry, I'm gonna apply there in the Philippines. He is actually a former Filipino. He wanted to have a loan here. I told him, okay, if you're outside the country, it might be very difficult for you. Not difficult because you're qualified, but maneuvering the paperwork, the application, and so on and so forth might be tedious for you. And actually, like, you always have the option to take a loan in the UK rather than in the Philippines. And you know what? He was surprised. Like, hey, JR, guess how long we're able to get a loan in the UK? How long? It's even faster than when I'm taking a bath. It's less than 15 minutes he got a loan.
Oh, wow.
So it's really difficult, and also especially with foreigners. Think a little bit on that. So before you buy a pre-construction condo, make sure you're not taking a look at the small payments, but you're taking a look at the total contract price, plus the transfer charges, and also plus the charges of the one-time condo membership.
Yeah. All right. Very good. We covered a lot of territory there.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you.
Both visa and real estate.
I appreciate you taking the time to doing this video. And anyway, I'll have all your contact information in the description of the video, and we can go from there.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you, buddy.
Thanks.
Take care.
All
Good to
right.
see you.
All right.